I wasn't going to talk about this on the show today, but we were in between segments, and Adamantium in chat mentioned that they wished God of War could be on the Switch. Having that on the go would be amazing, and I agree that being able to play that on the go would be amazing. But at the same time, like, that game is visually stunning. It is a really, really pretty game, and the developers, they did a fantastic job with that. And there's a reason why it earned Game of the Year for this year from the Game Awards. That being said, I wasn't going to talk about this on the show, but it kind of is linked to what Adamantium was saying. The fact that Nintendo, and I didn't add this to the show notes, so I'm talking about this off the cuff without having it right in front of me, but I had just read this earlier today. Nintendo had said something about, I think it was Reggie said, they would love it if Red Dead Redemption 2 would come to the Switch. And it's really weird when people ask for these high res, super super beautiful games to come to the Switch on hardware that is decidedly underpowered and will not be able to push the visuals the same amount. And to those people, I would say, well, they probably care more about the story than they do about the visuals, and that's perfectly acceptable. And for the most part, I am usually one of those people. I'm not going to be playing Red Dead Redemption 2 because I don't like the way Rockstar controls games. Like, I don't like the controls in their games. I never have. They've always driven me crazy, and I've always just said, never mind, I'll skip it. I've got enough games to play. God of War, an amazing game. Would I play it on the Switch? I don't know. I think that's the kind of game I wouldn't play on the go very much. It's so violent, and I don't know that I would want to be sitting there playing it and have somebody look over while I'm ripping somebody's face off and be like, geez, what's wrong with you, man? So like that's also the kind of game where you want to have it on a really big screen, and you want to have it hooked up to a nice sound system so that when that guy says, come here, boy, or however he says it, or read it, boy, like that booms in your ears. I think that would be awesome. And having it on the Switch, I would say it would really benefit only people who can't play it on other platforms. Like, I don't think that the Switch is the perfect console for every single game. There's a lot of games that belong where they are. I would say God of War and Red Dead Redemption 2, those are games that really would do well to be on the PS4 or the Xbox One. And if they came to the Switch, I certainly wouldn't be upset about it, but I wouldn't pick those up. Just like when Doom came to the Switch, I was like, oh man, if you don't have Doom on some other platform, you have to go get it on the Switch right now because it's awesome. But if you can play it on a PS4 or an Xbox One or a PC, you're probably better off playing it there because you're going to get a much better frame rate. You're going to get a much better experience. And honestly, bringing that on a portable experience doesn't improve it enough to make it worthwhile, at least to me. That's just how I think of it. However, there are ways that they could change it in order to make it work on the Switch. And the best example I can think of is Final Fantasy 15. Final Fantasy 15, I have it on my PS4 Pro, is a gorgeous game. Absolute beautiful landscapes. And when announced that it was coming to the Switch, well, actually, first it was announced it was coming to mobile, to phones. And I was like, really? How is that going to work? And what they did is they completely changed the art style and just they changed the art style. They changed the way that the inputs are, but they gave you the same story so that they could tell that story in a way on mobile phones and eventually on the Nintendo Switch. And it gave people who otherwise don't have access because they only have one console. Not everybody can have a bunch of consoles. All right. So they gave people who don't have access because they only have the Nintendo Switch, they gave those people access, which is awesome. Like those people got to experience Final Fantasy 15. And yes, it's a different Final Fantasy 15 that is on the PS4 or the PS4 Pro or the Xbox One S or X or whatever, or the PC, but they still got to experience the story. And if Rockstar was to port Red Dead Redemption 2 to the Nintendo Switch, like one of the things that people say is about the detail in the world, a lot of that would be lost. And I don't know that it would really work. But I'm happy to see them try. And if whoever made God of War, I can't remember, if they were to port God of War to the Nintendo Switch and they would change the art style in order to make it work, then and give people access to that story who otherwise wouldn't have access, I think that would be a fantastic idea. Whether or not it'll happen, I doubt. I doubt we'll see God of War on the Nintendo Switch. I doubt we'll see Red Dead Redemption 2 on the Nintendo Switch unless they are streaming. Like Resident Evil 7 is streaming, and Assassin's Creed something or other is streaming. Like those are games that are playing on some server someplace, and your Nintendo Switch is just the screen for them. I can see them doing it that way. I certainly won't play it that way. I'm not interested in playing that way. I would much rather have it on my Switch where I don't have to have access to the internet to play games like that. But that's just me. What do you guys think? Is that something that you're interested in, or is that something that you would rather play on other consoles where your visual experience would be better? Let me know.